It started with a phone that wouldn't ring back. By the time the sun sank over the red hills of Embu for the second night in a row, a mother's prayers had turned frantic, and a village was whispering the name Josephine Karimi like a question they were too afraid to answer. In the quiet village of Kioragana, nestled between lush hills and winding dirt paths, 24-year-old Josephine had just begun a new chapter in her life. She had recently secured a position as a secretary at the St. Mary's Catholic Women Association (CWA) Center. It was not a grand role, but to Josephine and her family, it was a golden step forward. A steady income. A symbol of promise. On Wednesday, June 28, 2023, she had lunch with her mother, just a simple meal, full of shared dreams and casual laughter. That laughter would echo hauntingly the next day. Because after that meal, she returned to work and vanished. Her phone went silent. At first, it was dismissed, maybe the battery died, maybe she was caught up with duties. But the hours passed, then the night. And by morning, a dread had crept into every corner of her home. For 5 days, the village searched. Her father walked the earth with eyes swollen from grief but filled with determination. Her mother whispered rosaries like incantations. Hope clung like morning dew on the grass, but it began to wilt. Then, on July 3rd, detectives uncovered the cruel truth. Guided by a digital clue, a switched-on phone, they were led to the CWA compound. There, in an abandoned pit latrine beneath broken planks and years of waste, they found her. Josephine had been brutalized. Her ribs shattered, her hands bruised from a struggle she never had a chance of winning. Her body, carelessly tossed into darkness, spoke of rage, fear, and the final moments of a life cut short. The man behind it was no stranger. Boniface Yakulila, 26, a casual laborer at the same center. He had no criminal record, no history of violence, only a life of hardship and quiet resentment. When confronted, he didn't resist. He confessed. Led police back to the pit latrine where he'd discarded her like trash. In 2024, the Embu High Court sentenced him to 15 years in prison after a guilty plea. The judge noted his remorse, his poverty-stricken past, and his lack of prior offenses. But remorse could not undo horror. It could not resurrect a daughter or console a mother. Josephine was laid to rest in her family's village of Mbukori. Beneath a clear blue sky, mourners wept. Her father spoke to those gathered, not with fury, but with purpose. No woman should ever have to walk alone in a place like that, he said, voice trembling. This didn't have to happen. And so, in the folds of memory and mourning, Kioragana remembers Josephine, not as just another statistic, but as a bright light extinguished too soon. A name that should never have become a headline. A life that reminds us all of the danger in silence, and the price of looking away.